Hey everybody! On this episode of Gaming and Collecting, me and Alex are going to be covering another anime swap, this time with more recent shows, Zenshu and Sakamoto Days. Should be an interesting one. But anyways, guys, on with the episode.
Never mind. I'm leaving. I'm leaving. Goodbye. See ya.
So how you been?
If I leave the studio, can I come back?
I'm not going to answer that. Anyways, how was
What am I now? No.
how was your day? You've had a busy couple days.
Yes. For those of you who have been following my job cycle, I started my new job on Tuesday, April 1st. I was a little worried. It was an April Fool's joke. Just kidding. Yeah. So this was my second day. Yeah, second day. Down in the site that's in the city, and then I have another site that's like pretty local to me, which is good. So
Good.
I don't have to drive in the city tomorrow. Which honestly, like everyone's like, "Oh, the traffic's really bad." It wasn't that bad. Like it hasn't really been anything that crazy. It's just what I expect when I drive in.
Please don't dox us, Alex.
Oh
Yeah.
shit. I don't work. When I drive into the city.
It's a big city. No, don't worry. You've already doxed us multiple times on the show.
Yeah, I didn't dox where I work though, so I'm not going to be saying where I got a job just because it's a big company.
The people know we live in Connecticut at this point. It's not a
Yeah,
huge
yeah,
secret. So
it's in the city. But then the other job, there's 2 locations, so it's pretty nice. So the rest of
yeah,
this week I'll be in the other location, but it's kind of like Monday. No, Tuesday was my first day, and then tomorrow's also kind of my first day. It's like my
good.
second first day just at the other site. But there's some people that I met. So a lot of the people I work with end up kind of doing the same thing, bouncing back and forward. So I'll know a couple people, which is nice.
Nice.
I found my work has a cafeteria. Both of them do. They have a cafeteria, so I got a chicken Caesar wrap for lunch today, and it was delicious. It's like a full service thing, and it has like those apps. Um, like like how Starbucks and Dunkin' have those apps where you can like pay through the app and then you get points. It has the
Mhm.
same thing, so I can get points.
Nice. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's funny how much news passes because I had like 3 people be like, "So I saw your sister got a new job," and I'm just like,
Wait,
"Sure did."
really?
Yeah,
Who?
probably a few people probably you're friends with on Facebook.
Oh, okay. People in management or
A couple of people that you were left on good terms with, so
okay. Yeah.
you know them. They're good. They're good people. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
dox them, but
I'll ask you off the pod. Now I'm
yeah,
curious. Yeah, no, it was I mean, like, unfortunately, sometimes you take a job somewhere. Not the place that I'm working at now. The place before. Sometimes you take a job somewhere, and they just lie to your face. And they just don't tell you the complete truth about the position. And
that's
unfortunately, that
most
yeah,
places, Alex.
yeah. And I mean, like, of course, there's always a little bit, but like that, like I don't think I've ever worked in such a chaotic place as that was. Like, that place was just nuts. And I don't know why people stay there. Uh, I couldn't take it anymore. Um, but yeah, I'm just so happy to start my new job. And it already seems like there's a lot of opportunities. Like I might be going to one of the sites to help with a couple projects like in a couple months.
Hmm,
Which would be cool. And it's like a concept that I really like called SMED, um, which is I'll educate the listeners today a little bit about my job. It's single minute exchange of dies, which basically means like we're looking
Sorry.
loud music worthy. Fucking dare you. Uh It basically means, like, we're looking at, like, the changeovers of something. Like, the best way you can describe it, and you'll get this, is, like, when they're switching the wheel off a tire. They're switching the tire off a car. Sorry, I can't speak. Um, and, like, like, how you see those videos of, like, the pickers and how they were able to do that so quickly. They probably actually utilized SMED. They probably went through the process, looked at things that could be moved to external, looked at things that could be set up beforehand. So it's a really fun thing to do, and apparently there's a lot of opportunities for it. So I'm really looking forward to it. So that was my educational moment for today. But I'm really excited. So there's a lot of cool opportunities. There's a ton of sites overseas that my boss was telling me that, like, he's been able to go to before, and I might have the opportunity. So woo! Yeah. And they did say they have some machinist positions opening.
Wait, she did it again.
Just saying. Oh shit! You're gonna have to Bill 527. You're gonna have to cut that out. Sorry, you're gonna have to cut that out. In the closer site. Whoops. Sorry. That one you do have to cut out or just bleep.
All right. Stop talking about it so I don't have to edit more.
Well, no, just add a bleep. Beep beep. Anything? Have you been? Oh, we should talk about the announcements from the new what's it called, the Switch at Nintendo Direct.
So fun fact, I'm actually going to be talking about that after this.
Oh, you are? Well, we
Yeah.
can just talk about the only thing I really care about.
Oh, you're talking about the first direct. There was another direct today, and
Oh
it
yeah, I
was
think I saw that. Didn't it announce the date the Switch 2 is coming out?
it announced a lot of stuff. Let's tune
Is
into
it
the
June?
tune into the SuperPod network. We're going to be talking about that shortly.
That's exciting.
It'll be out way before this comes out. But
well, we can talk about Tomodachi Life.
I like how they announced Tomodachi Life and then also a Tamagotchi like game at the same time. And I'm just like, that's not going to be fucking confusing.
I mean, the true fans of Tomodachi Life will know and are so excited. I saw so many reels of people just like going, ah! Like, I cannot wait. Did you see that one of the lady? I sent you the lady who's like, her laugh literally sounded like the character.
Yeah. That is such a
Oh.
cursed game. Like, there's so many
That game
cursed
is
things.
I cannot wait for that game to come out. I am so excited.
We were talking
Especially
about
now
it
that I'm a One Piece fan and like a bigger anime fan, because I'm gonna just make so many One Piece characters.
We were talking about it on 3DO last night, and I think Thrak literally said he's like, that is such an Alex game. I don't even have to like think about it.
It is. I need to wait. That can be my segue into breaking into the 3DO podcast. What'd you say about me? Just kidding. Wait, can you pretend? Wait, I have an idea. You tell Thrak that you're gonna be doing a game on something, and then it just turns into us talking. I just break in. I go, all right, we're talking about Tomodachi Life. Please.
I'll think of something. Maybe for a special episode. But I got manga in the mail today.
You got bongos?
Manga.
I'll order some once I don't get paid until the 18th.
Happens.
Cause like the pay cycle.
I got this today though.
Oh, is that My Happy Marriage?
Volume 5 just finally out.
Oh shit! I gotta add that to my cart.
It's fucking a thick one too.
I'm gonna My
I don't know how far this covers, but
Happy. Damn it! I'm texting you to remind that's a reminder for me. V5 add to cart. There we go. Because I have that. I have the Trigun one. I have Haikyuu one, and then I have a couple others that I'm behind on. So I haven't had money, but that's okay because I'll be getting paid soon. Very happy to be working. Oh, how's Face ID going? I found out the other weekend that Bill had never used Face ID until like now, and doesn't it make your life easier?
No, not all the time, because sometimes I want to like scroll and like I'll instinctively try to like do the password and be like, nope, Face ID. I'm like, ugh.
Then just show your face. It's easier.
Sometimes it's annoying, but
No, it's
yeah,
not. It's you can literally log into things with your fucking face.
I can walk into things with my face.
No, log in. Uh-oh.
What?
Oh, okay, we're good. I thought I was gonna burp. What are you drinking? Oh, I hiccuped. Oh, I hiccuped again. Yeah.
I'm drinking the same thing I drink every week. One of these iced things.
What flavor?
This one is berry lemonade.
How? Oh,
Not really.
give us a fact before you give us your score.
It has B6, B12, and E vitamins.
That's pretty
Oh,
good
you're
for
good.
you. Do you like it? Is it a good drink, or would you not get that flavor again?
Probably not. I don't know. Lemon just me berries and lemon aren't. I'm not really into.
What's wrong with you?
I like lemon.
Raspberry lemonade is amazing.
Yeah. I like lemon more on its own.
Oh wait, I'm thinking of iced tea. Never mind. Raspberry iced tea. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah. It's
You
fine,
know what's good with
but
lemonade? Iced tea, though. That must be why I'm thinking of it. And Arnold Palmer. What, on a scale of 10 poo dingleberries out of 2 poo dingleberries, what would you rate it?
I give it a 2. I don't know. It's okay. What do you drink? What are you drinking, Alex? You get 2 facts.
I'm a Zivia cream soda, naturally flavored. It's Zivia is a 0 sugar brand. That's not a fact. I'm just talking about the brand. Let me give you a nutritional fact. Guess how many calories, Bill?
0.
Yeah. I can't see with the lighting.
Did you just say it's a 0-calorie brand and then you asked me how many calories it has?
I said 0 sugar brand.
Oh, whatever.
So, yeah. Let me see. I can't read it.
Good.
There's 0 grams of protein. The serving size is 1 can, which is 355 milliliters.
You've said
No
your fact.
sodium. Wait, you gotta give me my scale before you turn off the music.
On a scale of 1 to 5, 1 piece is how many 1 pieces is it?
I'd give it 5. It's great. Only bad thing is it makes me burp. All right, 4.5, just for the burp factor, because we're potting and I didn't think this through.
Lovely.
Yeah, drink facts.
So yeah. Anyways, on to our topic.
No. What if? Well, actually, this is fitting before our topic. Have you been watching anything?
Not really.
Specifically, a show about junior high.
Oh. Yeah, I'm watching Attack on Titan Junior High. That show's a fucking fever dream.
Cheeseburgers.
All I remember is Sasha wanted her watermelon. And my favorite part is Aaron like fucking wipes out like 4 people on the way to school, and then they knock over Jean, and rather than helping out, they just jump on his face. And I was just like, yep.
Did you get to the part where you saw John's secret admirer?
I got like 3 episodes in, so no, probably not.
That's great. It's funny. It's
my entire
dumb.
reaction was, this is fucking stupid on so many levels. Especially when they play like the fucking like kind of like tense music in the background, and I'm just like, it doesn't work for this fucking show.
That's the joke. It's dumb. It's supposed to be dumb.
It's a fucking fever dream.
Well, it's also, you can clearly tell it was made before like season 2, where all the big plot shit happened.
Well, no, there's still some kind of ambiguous stuff there, like fucking Bartol or whatever. He's not there when the
Bertold.
colossal titan. He's not there when the colossal titan shows up. I'm like, ah, good catch.
I actually didn't pay attention to that, but that is funny.
The second I saw the colossal titan showed up, I looked around. I was like,
I don't see
where
him.
is he? Where is the bastard? Where's that boring fuck?
What else? I rewatched a couple of things. I did start watching Soul Leveling, but I
because
paused.
she caved.
I caved. I paused before basically before he goes back. He finally meets the purple haired girl. He had like just met her, but I don't think he unmasked her yet.
Oh yeah, because
Like, I
she
think she's
attacks
still
him, and he's about to kill her. Yeah.
Yeah. So I got to there and then I paused and I was like, okay, I'm gonna wait to watch. I got like a little bit. Like I feel better. But I feel like if I continue now, I'm gonna just want to watch till the end. So I honestly might just wait and then just rewatch the first episodes and then watch it again.
Oh, you didn't even
And
get to the feels. You didn't even get to the feels.
no, I wasn't ready for it. I wasn't ready for the feels. And then I watched another show, which it like actually like the first episode was actually really funny. Like it was another like isekai where he gets reincarnated and he's really strong. Uh but like in the first episode, he's like a baby and he's just like this fucking baby who's really strong, like a baby who's swaddled, really strong. And it was actually really funny. And then as soon as he grew up, it just was the same old shit. Like if he had just stayed a baby, it probably would have been funnier.
Yeah.
But yeah, it wasn't worth the watch. I wouldn't. It won't be on my recommended list. But I'm up to 40 new watches and then 12 rewatches. I also rewatched Yuri on Ice for the first time in like months. Because I watched that figure skating show Medalist, which I have to recommend. It was a Hulu original, and I have to recommend it. It was such a sweet story, and it's already got confirmed to season 2, which I can't wait. But it's about figure skating. I was like, wait a minute, I know another figure skating show.
Alex,
So I watched. Yes, what
this week's episode of A Pocket Theory Diaries.
is the frog episode?
Frog. I don't know if
Getting
it's the
dubbed?
episode, but we're getting close.
I still don't know what it's about.
I
but
don't either, and I want to know now because what the fuck is this frog shit?
Everyone keeps bringing it up. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm like, I'm trying to avoid spoilers on that because I'm like, what the fuck are they talking about?
I can't wait for that to be out too. Everything you keep telling me.
I've got Matt on it now too because Matt actually messaged me. He's like, "Did you see the preview for the next episode?" I'm like, "I don't. If I did, I don't remember." He's like, "There was a frog."
Good.
I'm like, "Oh god, it's coming."
It like kills me. Like there's a bunch of stuff that I've been wanting to watch, but like there's a bunch of it where it's like, oh, it's still 2 more episodes of the dub, and I'm like, ugh. So I've just been watching crap in between. It's
all right. This is fucking indefinitely delayed for whatever reason. So.
Oh really?
Yeah, there's still nothing, and they haven't said a word.
They haven't said anything. If they don't release it like both, it's only 2 episodes left, right?
Yeah, and they said when the finale's coming out, which now everyone's being like is probably a lie at this point.
That's cuckoo.
I don't know. It's all I know is like it's dumb because we're talking about My Happy Marriage, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, because no videos this time.
It's dumb just because like everybody is like caving now and they're going onto like illegal streaming sites and
to
I'm
just
like
finish it.
Well, to watch because the episode's out in Japan, like it's on Japanese Netflix, like which is annoying, and of course it leaked to all the streaming sites, like the sketchy streaming sites, and people are just going there to watch it. And I'm like, this is gonna tank the viewership on it.
Yeah,
and it's probably gonna lead Netflix to go, oh, no one liked it. No season 3.
It's so annoying.
Because this is Netflix we talk about.
Ugh. And Netflix really does drop the ball on shows.
The thing that's really bad is like the sub is clearly done. They could have at least put the sub out if the dub's having delays. Like at least then the people who don't care will just watch the sub and you'll still get the viewership. It's like
then they at least say something and then people will wait. Like
Yeah. Who knows? But some people think it's a licensing thing. I'd be like, I don't think it'd be a licensing thing because they've already got this much done. But it's got to be a dubbing issue.
Unless there's like some different character who I don't know. What did they introduce anyone new towards the end or something?
No, the next episode's the big. We're getting up to the big climax of the arc, and it's like everyone's pretty much here. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a thing. Hopefully, by the time this comes out, that'll be resolved. But
Yeah.
anyhow, we're doing for our episode.
Anywho, thanks so much for watching the Gaming and Collecting.
Enough of that.
The Gaming and Collecting podcast.
So we're doing another anime swap this time around. It's actually
Why couldn't I finish my spiel? I was
because we're not done yet.
Well, we could be shortest podcast ever.
No.
It's 20 minutes.
Can you believe we've done 15? This is going to be our 15th anime swap.
I feel like we've done more. So yeah, I can't believe it.
Well, no, we didn't really do that many last season. Like last season was surprisingly lean on them. I think we only did like 3 of them.
Yeah, because I just watched so much garbage and you didn't watch enough.
Because I tried to do other things last year.
Like what?
Not watch anime, play video games, read books, other things.
Are you in the competition for who's gonna watch the most?
The competition I've firmly established is you versus Matt. So
Matt, I'm gonna win.
Because I thought you were higher. I thought you had watched more, but I didn't take rewatches into account. So he's actually, I think, leading now.
Oh, damn it. All right. I'm going to have to catch up.
Yeah. But yeah, so we're doing Anime Swap again. For those who don't know or haven't seen our show, Anime Swap is a show segment we do on our show where we pick 2 animes. They don't have to be similar. The title may say versus. We're not pitting them together. We're just we're talking about 2 shows.
The only thing pitting them together is just they're the same episode length for the most part.
For the most part, like when we started this, we were originally doing movies and then like arcs, and then we just finally established let's just watch the entire show, which was
just watch the whole season.
Which was fine until we decided to do 200 plusers, and we were like, never.
It was just Black Clover and Yu Yu Hakusho. But that was worth it. Like that
no, it was a good one, but we realized that took forever.
That also took 2 home livings.
That was between 2 different places, but regardless, we've since mostly been establishing it as smaller shows. So for this episode, we've decided to cover 2 relatively
newer shows.
Yeah,
they both came out the same season.
Yeah, they both were out this year.
Yeah, they were both out the same. Yeah.
So the shows we're covering for this episode are Sakamoto Days and Zenshu.
Yes.
2 pretty different shows overall. One's an isekai and one is and one's a comedy action thing.
Yes. Bill has had prior expectations for, and both of them I had no expectations for.
Yeah. Well, one of them came out of nowhere. Well, they both kind of came out of nowhere, but one of them was completely out of nowhere.
Well, is one of them an original series?
Yes.
Yeah. Zenshu's an original. It doesn't have a manga.
Zenshu was a MAPPA original, which I found fascinating. Sakamoto Days is based off of a long-running manga, which is actually the reason I wanted to watch it, because I have actually been following that manga pretty much since it started. I actually got it as a Christmas gift from back when we lived at our hometown. I had a comic manga shop, Newbury Comics, that we would frequent all the time. And I was very good friends with all the people that worked there. And when I came to visit, I think like the first year we had moved into your condo, one of them actually gifted me a copy of the first volume as a Christmas present. And I was like really touched. And I ended up reading it and really enjoying it. and I've since been a dedicated reader of it since it started. It's like already 16 volumes deep at this point. So,
Yep.
but when I saw they were announced in, because this was one of those ones where I was like, I wonder if this is ever going to get an anime. And sure enough, it did. Got one announced like last year, and we finally got it this year. It's a simple 12er at the moment.
Yep.
But it already has a part 2 confirmed for later this year. So there's going
Yeah.
to be more. Actually, it's not even a 12er, it's an 11er. Netflix anime. Yay, Netflix.
Yeah. But, Netflix can do good. It does, like, put good stuff out. You just gotta
They do.
look for it.
They
But
do.
they
It's just
just drop the ball.
they drop the ball and their lack of communication is annoying. Like
Yeah.
that's the real annoying part about it.
Mm.
That being said, this manga is very interesting to me because this manga kind of loses the plot as it goes on. Like it's still good, but like it's very much like kind of like One Punch Man, where like it starts out as very comedy heavy and then it gets really deep into its plot.
Yep.
And while the comedy's still there, it is there's a lot going on. And
Okay.
I got to a point with it where I was kind of like I was still liking it, but I was starting to get kind of burned out with the current arc they were on.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, they've gotten out of that since it's starting to get interesting again. But
Yep.
when I saw they were doing an anime, I was kind of hesitant at first because I was like, I don't know if they're going to pull this one off. But of course, I had to check it out, and it. I think the anime kind of rejuvenated my interest in it because the anime
Aw.
was very, very faithful to the
Yeah.
manga. So to
And very
explain,
fun. It's a very
no,
fun show. Yeah.
it is. It is a very goofy show. Basically, to explain the plot of Sakamoto Days is a comedy like action anime revolving around the adventures of
Taro
yeah,
Sakamoto.
Taro Sakamoto, who is considered the greatest hitman on earth. Like he's a living legend, but he is since retired and now he runs a convenience store with his loving wife and daughter.
Yes.
And we find out the reason why he runs the store now is when he met his wife, Io, I forgot her name is hard to pronounce. I have all apologies.
Mm-hmm.
It was like love at first sight, but she was not thrilled with his assassin duties because she didn't like him showing up covered in blood to every date. So she basically gives
Understandable. Honestly, she's good. She stands her ground. I would also kind of be fed up with that too.
well, there's that hilariously dark scene where it's a flashback to like their dating era, and she's like, I'm sick of this, you know what, I'm done. If you won't give up murdering, I'm going to leave. And she doesn't just leave, she straight up is about to jump off a bridge. I'm just like,
Yep.
excuse me.
I mean, they were meant for each other. So.
Yeah, but Sakamoto of course saves her because he is freakishly inhuman at times, and he retires from the assassination stuff, and he has a simple life running a store. And
he puts on some pounds.
He has since gotten fat, but he's still just as deadly.
Which makes it even better.
So what's really fun is if you read this manga, you'll notice really quickly that the author was very clearly heavily inspired by the creator of Chainsaw Man.
Yes.
You can see it a lot with the art style and just like the general tone. Sakamoto's wife looks just like Kawabini. It's almost uncanny how much they look alike.
It's her side story.
Also, the daughter is absolutely adorable.
Yes.
I love the daughter. But yeah, so the basic gist of it is the plot kind of goes where it's like it's kind of like a bit, it starts off very serialized, like he's running the store, and then as the episodes go on, different people will show up, including the first of many assassins who try to kill him, Shin, who is an assassin with telepathy, who can read people's minds.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole joke is he goes in to assassinate Sakamoto, but Sakamoto is like, so he's still just as skilled as he was. He's just fat now, which is kind of the joke. He's also voiced by Matt Mercer, and it's a fucking perfect casting.
He does a really good job.
But Shin, of course, inevitably fails, and when he ends up realizing that it's no use, he ends up giving up the assassin life, and he ends up joining the store as an employee, which becomes a running gag because
Yes.
we also get introduced to Lou, who is another. Um, I don't think she's an assassin. She's just kind of a
No, she's the daughter of a crime boss.
yeah, and she's very wacky. She also ends up joining the store, and they become a little fun family. And it goes through this whole running joke where it's like you'll constantly get these different assassins of the week who are like, "I'm gonna kill Sakamoto," and then
Yes.
they inevitably like show up, and they're like, "Who's this fat guy? Where's Sakamoto at?"
Moto.
And then they realize it is Sakamoto. They're like, "Ah, this is so easy," and then they immediately get
Their ass
annihilated,
beat. Yeah.
either by
But he can't kill them because and anyone who joins the family and works at the store is not allowed to kill anyone. So as soon as Shin and Liu join working at the store, they can't kill anyone either.
I love that image too, where his wife gives like the whole like story about how there's no killing, and then like she's like, "You're not killing, are you?" And it just cuts to that image of her with divorce papers, and he's like, "Ugh."
He's like, no.
I love the fact though that like she is unfazed by the store getting wrecked on a daily basis, but the second killing comes into play, that's when she's like, "Shit's real
Yes,
now."
yes. Well, she believes in her values. Store can be replaced. People can't.
Yeah. I love how the assassins are all like very super gimmicky as well. Like you got the one with like the deer head, that
Mhm.
leads that whole organization. There's like the one with like his there's the one that looks like the guy from Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah. Well, it's you find out like that um eventually someone's put a hit on Sakamoto because Sakamoto used to be part of the what's it called?
It, it was like the
It was
order, I think, of
yeah,
assassins
the
or something.
Order. He was when he was an assassin, he was part of this thing called the Order, which was the best like assassins in there. And there's I forget his name. Who's the guy that's after that's going after
1 second here, I'm
the
trying to bring
Order?
up some characters.
I can't remember his name. I can't remember his name. It's
Um,
like
is it
is it X or something? Don't they call him like X?
isn't it like Asaki Say or whatever his name is?
Oh, Slur. Slur
Slur.
is who they are. Slur is the one that was putting out the bounties because they put a bounty on
Oh,
Sakamoto and the
right,
other.
right. This guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because the deer head guy was working for Slur.
yeah. Kashima.
Yeah, it's
I
all coming
I
back to
hate
Slur.
I hate that name Slur. Just so like, ew. um,
Slur.
yeah, because there's also the Order is a completely different group of assassins, which a number of them also show up at times to take on Sakamoto. Um, and then there's a bunch of course, independents as well. But
Mm,
for the most part, it's mostly the whole plot essentially is like a bunch of them will show up, do a thing, and then get their ass handed to them by Sakamoto or
yep.
Shin or Lu,
Yeah.
and then they'll basically move on with their life. Um,
Or they'll
e-
join the crew.
yeah, they either join the crew, become a recurring friend, or they just are like, yeah, we give up. We'll see you around.
Because we also didn't talk about the sniper.
Yeah, the guy that looks kind of like
Isuke? I think that's his
yeah,
name.
he's gay. He looks sort
Sniper
of
with the
like
big old bird.
yeah, he looks kind of like the guy from Hunter x Hunter.
Oh, that's who you're talking about.
Well, he's got a green shirt and the spiky hair. I mean,
Yeah. Gone.
yeah, there's him. He shows up multiple times. Um, there's my favorite. Are like there's like the dude with like the long hair, and then the girl that's kind of like dressed up like in like the lace and stuff with their
Mhm.
saw blades. Um,
Yes. They were part of the Order.
yeah, they were fun. And then Yoichi Naguma, who's like the very kawaii looking guy with like the black hair and like the
Mhm.
very big eyes.
But he's deadly.
Yeah,
He's also part
but
of the Order.
my favorite with him is like because he's able to like disguise himself and like he disguised himself as Sakamoto and like shit and everyone's like, hey boss, like what's going on? He's just completely going with it, and then Sakamoto shows up and he's like, wait a minute.
Huh? Who is this? Yeah, this
And
show is very silly.
yeah, it's the plot as of like the first like season is very much like the manga. It's very all over the place, very serialized. Like I think
Yeah.
the first major arc we get is the theme park where they go to a theme park to have family fun day. But of course, all the people at the theme park are trying to assassinate
Yep.
Sakamoto, so he has to constantly run off and like do stuff. And his wife's always like, "Why are you guys look winded or in
Guilty.
a rush?" And they were like, "That ride was intense, man." Like, there's the point where like Shin's having a fight on the roller coaster, and it's just insanity.
Yep.
And then we also get the big reveal where Sakamoto, when he's like in like a very stressful situation, can just lose the weight in like 3 seconds.
Yep.
Like that, I still don't understand how that works, but he just suddenly is skinny
He
now.
ate the gum gum fruit.
I guess.
That
Um,
Luffy can do that.
but my
He
favorite
eats
part
all the
is like
food and then becomes skinny.
my favorite part is he'll become skinny again, and then like the running joke will be like he'll like become skinny, wipe the floor with the people he's going up against, and then the running joke is by the next scene he's fat again, and like his wife's all like,
Implied that he
"Really?"
ate a bunch.
Yeah, it just got fat.
Nom, 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 nom.
Like I always think of that first scene where like when the first episode with Lou where they're out to go get those meat buns and then they get destroyed and like he's just like
He's so sad.
he's like the meat buns. My daughter's gonna be sad.
Mm.
And then Lou's like, "Oh,
But
I know how to
Lou
make
can
better
make meat.
ones,"
Yes.
and that's why they keep her around.
Yes. And
What did you
and
think?
they end up getting a little meat bun cooker in the
Yep.
store.
What did you think of the part where like Lou gets drunk and she's just like a crazy drunk fighter?
Yes, that part was very funny. And then
That
she
was
like sobers up and she's like, "What the hell's happening?"
yeah. Where am I? Lou's great. I love
Yes.
Shin and Lou are like really fun. I love when they because they have that like brother and sister like
Mhm.
that hate each other like energy going on.
Yeah. I like a bird guy was fun too. Honestly, the main
He's
cast.
fun.
I'm assuming bird guy is part of the main cast. Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah because he's a recurring to the point where he's basically main cast, but he's not part of the
Yeah.
store.
Okay.
Um, Yeah, because there's them, but even like the different assassins are all very interesting. Like there's the guy who's all like the hard boiled one who like
Yeah.
his entire thing was like he wanted to work with Sakamoto, but Sakamoto never noticed him, so
He
he
was
was
like,
very
"What?
very
Who are
butthurt
you?"
about it.
Yep.
Um, I like the one too about like when they go to the bathhouse and there's like the assassin who's like it's his father's bathhouse and he was supposed to take up the bathhouse, but he's like no, I must be assassin, and he
And then after
constantly
he fails and fails,
he's
like
like
he you
go on.
go.
Well, I was gonna say like he after he fails it, he's like, you know what, Dad? I think I'm gonna take up the bathhouse, and he's like, yeah, you're too late, and he's like,
You
oh
know,
well,
the dad's really like, "Oh, I'm an ungrateful little jerk, and I should have." I think he literally says that, and it's like so funny. He's like, "Oh, okay." He
yeah,
just
he just
accepts
gives,
life.
he just like, all right, never mind. My favorite part about that though is like he constantly keeps sabotaging the bathhouse to like kill Sakamoto, but every time he does it, like Sakamoto's like, oh, this
Sakamoto's just
is
having a great
good.
time.
He's
He's
because he
like,
like tries burning him in the fucking sauna, and he Sakamoto's like, yeah, this is nice. Or freezing him, and he completely is into it the entire time. And the guy's like, "What is
or like
wrong with
he
this
turns
guy?"
up the like pressure on like the I think it was like the jacuzzi tub,
Yeah,
and
and
like
it like
sends like
launches everybody out of it.
it
But
sends Shin
Sakamoto
flying. Well,
and
and the best
Sakamoto's
part is, like, Sakamoto comes home that day and he's like, "I feel so refreshed," and the whole reason they went is because Shin was feeling like, stressed out,
yeah,
and Shin's like, "I'm in so much pain."
pain. The show has very subtle comedy that I really like.
Yes.
Um,
It's a very goofy
unfortunately,
show.
Unfortunately, the thing about it is though, it actually was a perfect show to watch week to week because it was because of the
Was it
serialized nature.
Cliffhanger Central, like another
No,
show?
no. Like every episode would end. Well, during the theme park arc, like and like the Shin's backstory arc, there was like a couple endings, but like other than that, though, like everything was like very week to week.
Mm.
Um, What'd you think of that final casino episode?
Oh, I thought that was funny.
Yeah, I just like they were like, "You're cheating." He's like, "No, I'm not."
No, I'm not.
Like, I'm not cheating.
He was like, and they're like,
Yeah,
if we see you do it again, you're out.
yeah. I love the fact too how they just like that whole thing. Just like everyone's like the guns are all pointing, and they're like, "Well, how about this gun and this gun?" And it's like, just it's a
So silly.
wacky show. It's unfortunately it's very hard to explain it because it is very much it's a simple watch.
You
It gets
gotta just
more
sit down and watch it. It's only 11 episodes. It's an easy commitment, but
super
it's
quick. I love the intro, like the opening. The opening is great.
yep.
It's got that like rock kind of vibe to it, which is
Is
fun.
it like Vondi? Is
I
Vondi?
believe so.
Yeah.
It's just a cool one where it's like it's a great dub. All the characters are very well dubbed. Everyone is super likable. Even the villains are likable.
Yeah. Especially the mom.
She doesn't appear much, but when she does it, it's great.
It's always good.
The daughter's great. I love everyone in this show. And I'm looking forward to. I believe it's like July. We get the next batch of episodes.
Yeah,
So
it's supposed to be the summer, so
can you
Did
not?
you hear that?
Yeah, a lot. All right, enough. Enough.
I'm stressed. I need my stress ball. I'm not. I just want to squish it.
Well, don't pop this one like the other four.
Like this one?
Yeah.
I
And
think
you're
this
done.
one like sealed itself back.
That's concerning.
Like it
Um,
popped. The insides of this one is very sticky.
yeah. But yeah, that was Sakamoto Days.
Just like Sakamoto.
We'll give our thoughts at the end like we normally do, but now on to Zenshu, and this one came out of
Well, you gotta
nowhere.
sing it. You gotta sing it.
Yeah, okay.
Sing the Zenshu.
God damn that fucking animation every episode. This was not a this when you binge the show, you get really sick of that animation.
Yeah, I will say I feel like I wish I watched this one as it came out week to week. Because that's like one thing of like when you binge like Sailor Moon and you watch the transformation sequence over and over and over, and you're
Yeah.
just like, I don't fucking care anymore. You're Sailor Moon, whatever. Like week to week, it works really well, but like when you like binge it in succession, it's just
Well,
like
the
seeing
best
it.
about Sailor Moon was like in the early episodes, they would show everybody's transformation individually, but then as it went on, they'd be like, "All right, just fucking do all the other ones at
Yeah.
once."
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So Zenshu. It's an original series by Mappa. Which Mappa's done a few already. Cause didn't Mappa do? Was it Mappa that did? One of my favorites, spooky, slightly spooky. The Death Parade. Or was that Mappa? Or was that the one that has like the similar font as
one
Mappa?
second. I don't think that was
I
Mappa.
think Mappa has done original.
No, it was Madhouse.
Yeah, they have like the same font, and I get confused. And both begin with M and ma. Those original, which we've seen a couple, and I feel like the original series can either go basically one or two ways, where it's either great or it's just very forgettable. And this one was really
Yeah.
great.
This
at
one
least I think so.
was this one was interesting to me because this one there were multiple points where I was like, "Oh, okay, this is where this is going." I'm like, "Oh, it's not go." Like
Yes.
I'll say, I didn't think this was an isekai when I started watching it.
But it's like it is, but it's not like because like technically, I mean like. Well,
I mean,
we'll get into it. Well, I don't want to spoil anything yet.
It's technically an isekai, but it's a very interesting take on an isekai.
Yes. So then she was centered around the character Natsu Hirose, which she is a famous storyboard animator director. And she basically like she had done one that was amazing. She's part of the studio now, and they're basically at the moment in the beginning of the story, they're basically coming out with another movie. It's getting into crunch time, and they're basically relying on her expertise for this movie to be great, or the studio's going under is kind of the implication. And Zenshu's character is like
She's
Zenshu
great.
not Zenshu. Natsu's character is really great, but also really complicated. So when you first meet her, like she's very much like the typical, almost like the shut-in of Japanese culture, where does covers herself up, even like was refusing to cut her hair until she had finished the story, and was basically working with a mop of hair covering her face. So
Her
it's kind of
default hair is she takes it the back and just puts it over her face.
yes, she just covers her face and she works. And she's very isolated. She never asks for help, and when people bring her stuff, she usually says, "Never mind, I'll just do it myself."
She's
Which
very she's single target like that, like she's very much like single minded, like she is very much her mind is set on one thing and that's like the only thing she cares about at a given time.
yeah,
And she also is so like she's also like a perfectionist and it like has to
yeah.
be perfect her way.
Well, and I also feel like too one of the things is she keeps hearing what everyone's saying, and she's feeling the pressure of like, if this isn't successful, like this is gonna be my name attached to it, and I'm gonna become a flop. Um, but one thing that's really that she keeps kind of mentioning and bringing up and thinking of is one of her favorite movies was The Tale of Perishing, and that movie was a critical flop, but it's her favorite nonetheless. And in the story, after dying of food poisoning,
Oh yeah, because there's that great scene where she is so like doesn't pay attention to anything. Her little like manager like is like, "Oh, go prepare the food. Oh, by the way, the clams in there are bad. You should throw those away." And of course, they don't listen and
yeah,
prepare the meal with the bad clams. And at first, I forgot about the bad clams, and I was like, "Why is she dying?" And I was like, "Oh, right, they
the
didn't take
bad
the clam."
clams. As soon as I read that, because you could see with the because it was in Japanese, but they had like the subtitles, and it showed clams. I was like, "Bitch is gonna die" or something.
Well, what's
Um,
weird is when I was watching this at first, I didn't because I didn't know anything about it. I just hopped into it.
mm,
Um,
I didn't
I
either.
thought I thought this was gonna be like one of those like almost Oshinoko like dark tale like dark kind of commentary on like the Japanese like industry kind of thing.
Yep.
But then she gets isekai and I was like, oh, this is not what I was expecting
Yeah.
at all.
So
Um,
after dying, it's kind of unclear if she died or not.
well,
With the
no,
ending,
the ending implies that she's
yeah,
alive.
but it also could technically just keep on being a dream scene. Who knows?
Oh yeah,
Um,
the ending's all. Oh yeah, that's right. That ending scene. Shit.
yeah.
Yeah, okay, we'll get to that.
No,
Fuck.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
So technically, you don't. It's unclear. But in this case, we think she's dead. And she gets isekai'd into her favorite movie.
and the
Sorry, I had to take a
characters
sip.
are,
Right, my
and
throat was dry.
and she meets the characters and they're assholes.
Well, she meets the characters of her favorite movie, A Tale of Perishing, um, which she meets Luke Braveheart, which he is the main protagonist of the movie. You meet Unio, which he is a little unicorn boy who's played by Nami. So the whole time I was like Nami corn. Um, then uh, M- Mehmet Memiran, Melman. I can't pronounce her name, but she's Elf Lady. Um, QJ.
Voiced by
He's a little
Kaguya.
yeah, he's a little uh there the little robot. Oh, it is a boy. He's a little robot dude. Um and then you meet some of the other um characters in the town, but basically she gets plopped in the middle of a desert and gets um saved by who are known as the it is like the nine soldiers. And Luke's the leader of it. Um, and in the beginning of it, you don't like we don't know the full tale of Perishing. We've heard that it was a bad movie, but we don't know the full story of what happened. But what we
Did you
soon
notice the
realize,
little subtle thing whenever it shows her watching the movie as a kid and she's the only one in the theater? The little meta commentary there.
yeah, yeah, no,
I just thought that was interesting. It's like, oh yeah, this movie flopped, and it's like, ah, she was the only one who saw it.
no, but other people did. Um, Because you'll find it in some of, like, the flashbacks she has
Yeah.
with some of the other people you'll meet. But she ends up finding out that she's now been reincarnated in this book, in this movie, and she ends up getting saved by them. But one thing she realizes is that, okay, like, I could either let this play out like it plays out in the movie, or I could change it. So what does she do? She gets the magical power to be
Well,
able to change things.
first she tries to warn them when they bring her
Yes.
back to town, but they're kind of dickheads about it. They're like, "You get out of here, you gremlin."
Well, think about it. Like this random girl who looks like a hair goblin runs up to you and you're supposed to believe her and she steals your fucking food. Like, no, I wouldn't believe her either.
They were rude.
Yeah.
They deserve to have their food stolen.
Yeah, she was weird. She was a weird hair. They befriend her in the end. Um,
They
but
were
they
just
didn't really.
unnecessarily aggro. They were unnecessarily
Well,
aggro.
Yunio's just kind of a jerk, but that's his character. Um, but the main like villain creatures are these things called voids. And they end up basically she knows what's gonna happen. They're having this banquet in the town. And basically the voids are gonna go and destroy it. And one of the main Unio is gonna die. And she knows that's gonna happen. So eventually gets to the point where she tries to help them, tries to warn them. They didn't listen. They're attacking, but she can change it with her powers to bring her works of art to life. Um
Zenshu.
yes, with the theme song, she gets a whole it's not really a transformation sequence, it's
No,
more of a
it's
magical desk appearing
a desk
sequence,
appears and then a chair rockets her to the desk every time.
but it's great every time.
Did you notice
Oh,
the one time it's slightly different is when she's not wearing pants, and they actually
yeah,
took that into account?
I
I
was
was
wondering, like, if they were going to change it, and I was happy that they did because
Yeah,
I'm like,
I'm like,
"It's a
oh,
little
she's not
detail."
wearing pants. Lovely.
Um, now everyone just knows that she wasn't wearing pants at one point. But basically, she gets these magical powers, and whatever she draws can come to life. This is important. Don't forget this. Whatever she draws comes to life. So whatever creature she makes to come help save the day, that's what they do. And basically, that's kind of where the story ends up going into is that okay, Unio's not dead. The story has now changed. How is it going to change? How is it going to keep changing? Well, she knows like what the next plot point is. So she knows the next things that's coming. Um so she's going to have to find another way to change it. Like one of the characters who's part of the 9 soldiers, Melmum, ends up betraying them in the original story. So, and not really betraying them, it's more she's an elf and she's just depressed of watching all of her friends and family die constantly.
She's like Freerin if Freerin wasn't
Yeah,
fun.
Freerin just gave up and decided that world annihilation was the solution. Um, what was that?
What?
I heard like a popping sound.
Maybe it's my knee. I
It
don't know.
was like really loud. Sorry. Um, So, but they basically end up being able to change that so she doesn't end up betraying them. So, what keeps happening is that she keeps ending up changing the story. And then suddenly, strange bird creature appears and you're just like, "What the fuck is that?" But we
And
end
it's
up
like you
learning.
can't change the story.
Yeah. So what you end up learning is that the creepy cat creature ended up being the original director of the Tale of Perishing's incarnation into her story. And Natsuko like idolizes her. Like that's her inspiration. And you actually find out later on that the studio she's working at was the studio that made A Tale of Perishing. Like she loves this person. Um but she keeps doing what she's doing. She keeps changing the story. But at one point, uh-oh, it's not working.
Yeah.
And suddenly the events that are happening, they might be a little different, but they end up happening. Instead of Unio dying, QJ dies instead, in the same way. At one point, oh yeah, I forgot to mention the princess who becomes buff, but yeah, there's a princess who
Oh
becomes
yeah,
buff.
Destiny.
Destiny heartwarming. Um, like Natsuko, like originally in the plot line, she was supposed to become a lover of this duke. Um, no, it was a rich chairman. She was engaged to someone. She was going to be engaged to someone to get some money to build an orphanage, not an orange. And she was supposed to be the love interest of Luke Braveheart. But with, Natsuko's guidance and her changes, she's like, you can do this on your own. You don't need that guy to make the orphanage. So she originally does, but then the plot starts to rewind, and she's engaged to him again. So what's happening is that the original story is coming true. And basically, like, the world is almost like it's not falling apart, but you find out through watching that A Tale of Braveheart probably didn't do as well because it's not a happy ending. Like, it's
No,
a
it's
sad, miserable ending of a story. But that's what Bird Lady, Kamatero Tsuriyama, that's what she wanted. She wanted a bad story. Like, it's there's no happy ending, and literally the ending of the story is that Luke ends up being so depressed because all of his friends and his love die, so that he becomes basically the end of the world demon void that destroys the world, and that's how the story ends. So
hooray.
I know. So regardless of the changes that Natsuko made, it was all the pieces were still falling into place. But, she ends up by discovering herself and by discovering something that she was looking for in the beginning. I forgot to mention this. Well, actually it gets mentioned later. Like, part of what the reason why she was really struggling with the movie she was working on was that it was a love story.
Yeah, and she
And
had
for
no
her,
concept of love.
yeah, well, she did, but she didn't know it. Um, she really didn't have a concept of, like, love, so she was getting people to tell her, but she wasn't able to really capture it because she truly just needed to experience it in this story. So, part of it is that, like, in order to save Luke, she had to admit that Luke Braveheart was her first love. In this movie, it was her Tale of Perishing was her first love, and that, like, through there, she's able to, like, become a better person, and also, like, she grows to accept help from others. At one point in the film, like, even as, like, the art with the magical art skill, that saves the day, she still brushes people off and says, "I can just do it myself." But she learns that, "No, I gotta ask for help." So, her, Unio, Melnum, and, QJ, and Justice, who's a
Oh
dragon
yeah,
man.
because yeah, Justice. How could you
We
not?
forgot about there's a lot of really good it's hard to like, without explaining the whole plot of everything that happened. Like, I recommend you watch this. It's very good. But through that, in the end, like, they end up saving the day, and she ends up saving Luke. And though it wasn't but she also ends up saving herself. Uh,
I the fact that Luke still ends up like because like it gets really there's like such a turn later in the series where like all the townspeople are like Natsuko's evil, kill
no,
her.
yeah.
um and like she actually gets like shot with an arrow at one point and is like injured and she gets sucked into a void with Unio and Luke
And he
finds her
thinks they're
little
dead. Yeah.
yeah he finds her little artboard thing and it's covered in blood and he's walking like in this because he was head over heels for her at this point.
Yeah.
Um and it starts disappearing and he's like no and he looks up at the crystal thing up there and he's like
And then he
stupid
goes
crystal and throws it and breaks it and becomes void.
yep. And no, it was like, I definitely watching it was not expecting, like, I had no idea what the story was, but that's definitely not where I was expecting it to go.
It gets
Um,
dark really fast.
no,
I was like,
yeah.
holy
As
shit.
soon as the director of A Tale of Perishing, Kamataro Suriyama, I
Bird
don't
lady.
remember what Bird Lady. We're just gonna say Bird Lady. As soon as Bird Lady appears, like, the tone shifts. And especially that first time, like, where she's not able to change it and fix it. And when her creatures she made come back as voids, that's when you know shit's getting real. Like,
Yeah.
but she ends up saving the day, and she ends up, bringing Luke back, to who he was.
And also healing
He's
everybody and restoring
Yeah,
basically the
healing and
world.
bringing the world back. Even like there was 9 heroes and we didn't even know half of them, but all of them are back. But at the same time, she has to go because she's the one that doesn't belong. So she was able to give him the happy ending, but she also can't stay. And then you see her, after that, you see her actually working on the movie. The movie was a success and she's grown as a person. She's asking for help. She's looking towards her coworkers as support, and they're working as a team. And she also, she discovered love, and love can have so many different forms, which is great. Um,
And then
but
we
the
get
movie was a
the one
success.
yeah.
Yes.
And then we get that one scene at the end that this is a straight up perfect blue moment where it just mindfuck. But she's walking down the street and then she looks over and sees the gang and I'm just like
Yeah. And that's why I say, like, did she actually die? Did she not die? It's kind of never really, you don't
it
know.
literally ends with her like eyes going wide and then it just cuts to black. And I'm just like
Yeah.
I was like,
You're
oh
like, and it really just, like, this isn't getting our it's not getting sequel or anything, like,
no,
this is just a
it's a one
one
and done.
story, so it's really left up for your interpretation of what the ending's gonna be, and truthfully, we don't really know, like, did she actually die, and, like, is she still kinda living in her dream world, or
Yeah.
is she
Is that
alive
a
and
is that a is it all a dream? Or is
yeah,
she still
was it
in
like, you really don't know, like, it can really be left up to so much interpretation that we don't know.
Hmm. I
But
did love
honestly, oh, you go first.
I was gonna say, like, going, like, back to, like, earlier moments, I loved a lot of, like, the little mini, like, in between scenes, like, the party after the first victory where, like,
Yes.
they force her to dress up and she's so, like, not into
And
it,
the
but,
pretty,
like,
yeah.
I love the scene, though, where she's up on the roof with the charcuterie board and the giant mug of beer, and she's like, "This is my happy place."
Well, I like when, Destiny, like, you first see them visit her orphanage, and it's the first time you see her buff, and she's in this Catman costume, and you're just like, "What the fuck?" But this is great.
Also,
Um,
like, when, Justice first appears and they never express what gender they are. They're kind of like a they, which I
yeah.
think is interesting. But when they first appear, they start hitting on Natsuko, and it makes Luke super jealous.
Bringing up Justice again, the scene where at one point when, Luke became, like, the ultimate void, and basically people are just getting zapped out of existence. There's Justice, what's her name? Uh, I'm brain farting her name. She gets the buff. She gets the buff
Oh,
princess.
oh,
Um, Destiny.
Destiny, yeah.
Destiny and, Justice end up, like, helping out some of the kids from the orphanage and are protecting them. But at one point, like, they're basically stranded. Everything is getting zapped out behind them. And at one point, Justice gets zapped away to save them. But, it's actually a really depressing scene where Destiny ends up holding the kids and they're hugging, and she just tells them to, like, "Okay, think of, where this is a game, think of something happy," as, like, you slowly start seeing them fade away, and you're just like, "Oh my god," like, no! Like, that scene was, like, crushing and, like, heartbreaking, and I
Mhm.
wasn't expecting to, like, get that, like, "Oh my god," emotional, um, over just that one scene. Like, that scene was, like,
Beautiful
very
animation throughout, though.
MAPPA. That is one thing you can say, when MAPPA goes 100%, they go 100%.
Yeah,
'Cause
they just
even
work
the
their employees to death.
yeah, because even the Zenshu scene, incredible every time you saw it. Like, that
I
animation is so fluid and so beautiful, like, it's crazy.
I was gonna say though, when I first thought this was gonna be like one of those meta commentaries on like Japanese animation, I was gonna be like, I'm like Mappa, a little on the nose here. I mean,
Yeah. Um I also just like one thing I think I really appreciate about this movie is just the fact that this series it could have been a movie.
it honestly could have.
But it's also just kind of really refreshing to just kind of get this 12 episode story. I feel like nowadays like we just get like, okay, season 1, part 1 it's 12 episodes, part 2 is 2 episodes. Like we don't really get like these just like one and done stories anymore. Like I feel like everything is really long, which like I appreciate because there's some really great stories coming out. But it's just nice to get like one of these like just really good stories. And like in the end it's just kind of up to your interpretation of like where you really think it ended. Did she actually die? Did she not die? Who knows? Like it was just really refreshing. I
Was
feel
it
like
all just a dream?
no, yeah. Like especially just compared to everything else that's coming out, this was such a breath of fresh air, which I feel like was really needed. And hopefully it gives Mappa like a good like refresher period to get them kind of back on track.
Well, they're
You know?
working on Chainsaw Man movie. Finally got
Yeah,
announced.
finally.
There's another Jujutsu Kaisen season. They're doing the Ranma anime. They're doing a lot. They're still in
Dorohedoro.
Toridoro. Yeah, it's refreshing, but they're still overworked.
Yes. No.
Um,
But this was just a great project.
it was a good one and done watch. Like, I don't know if I'll watch it again anytime soon, but I enjoyed it thoroughly. Like, I wanted to see where it went. I was very confused a lot of the times, but
Yes.
I will say I don't want to see that transfer that the fucking draw scene again because I'm just like after 12 episodes I was like I'm good.
Well, you want to
See,
see it again in a while.
yeah. um yeah, I like both of these shows though. Like Sakamoto Days was really fun all the way through,
Yep.
and Zenshu was a very pretty watch with a cool story and a fun characters. Like I love Natsuko as a character. Like I just love how her default look is just hair.
I think all the characters were really great. But then that's also like a really great way of showing though her character growth as well. Of like going from constantly having the face covered to towards the end, she had her hair up most of the time with like Unio's unicorn horn.
I love
Like
that she
and that
just
really
breaks
just
it off. She's like
yeah.
mine.
But like it really does show,
Oh yeah, that was
the
the other
growth.
thing. That was the other like mind thing was at the end when she's in the office, she has the unicorn horn still. And I'm
No,
like,
yeah. So that's where it kind of leaves you of like you don't really know what happened.
hmm. I will say I loved the actress that played Natsuko, Madeline Morris. She did a phenomenal job with the character. Like
Yeah.
she had that great like just like I don't give a fuck voice the entire time.
And Lucy Christensen did a great job as Unio. Because I mean, I was jokingly calling her Nami just because like I just recognize that voice so
Lucy
easily.
Lucy
But like she
Christensen
did
has
like
like her voice is just like
Unio did sound like a boy though.
yeah. I mean, she's got a great her character is she either plays like really high pitched girl characters that like scream a lot, or she plays young boys.
Yep.
Because when I think Lucy
Or
Christensen, I think like
unicorns.
yeah, I think like Kaname Chidori from Fullmetal Panic or Nami. Yeah, but Madeline Morris was really good. She's also Miko in Kaguya-sama, which was like when I found that out, I'm like, this is such a weird difference in character. Please don't do that. But yeah, I mean, it was
Did
pretty
you
good.
toot?
No,
I just heard a toot noise.
probably you playing with your fucking stress ball.
No, it sounded like a like a little squeaker.
I think that was you playing with your
No, it
stress ball.
wasn't. No, because I heard it over the headphones. These don't make that.
Anyway,
Can you hear that?
everyone
I
can
wonder
hear
if I
that.
can make the fart noise.
I hope you pop another one.
Oh wait, this one's less poppable.
Alex, stop farting. That's gross.
No, it's so stressful.
Sure it is. There's no video proof. Anyways, so before she breaks another
I know I got to fart one day. I'm just gonna keep trying. You roll the credits, Bill.
before she
I'm
pops
surprised
another
you didn't
stress
put the.
ball.
I'm surprised you didn't put the clown music on.
I'm tired. Anyways, so once again, guys, thank you for joining us on Gaming and
Damn it, I
Collecting.
can't do it.
You can find Gaming Collecting on all the major podcasting platforms, particularly Apple Podcast and Spotify. We haven't got nuked by Spotify yet, so that's a good sign. Spotify's nuking all sorts of podcasts because of music copyright. It's getting kind of ridiculous.
Oh,
But
really?
anyways, yeah.
But we don't have any music, so.
No, we've been lucky. But yeah, but anyways, you can find us there. Also check us out at superpodnetwork.com. A whole bunch of awesome shows, blogs, videos. We are by this point we just recently did a thing on the Nintendo Direct, so if you want to check that out, go give it a listen on the YouTube channel. Check out all the awesome shows there and check out our blogs. But anyways, guys, once again, thank you for joining
you hear that?
us, and we will see you all later. Yes, we
Did you hear me breathing?
Yeah.
That was me breathing. So you all know that I'm alive while Bill's giving his spiel. Hey guys, ASMR, and think of the video. Bill hates this. Bill, what do you have to say?